plenty of games to run through here, ladies and gentlemen, as we run into our fourth map for the day. Alpine, snowy hills, a snowfall is a starting point for where teams are going to be dropping off as the plane goes all the way eastwards. And Garrison is going to be the place that picks up the high tier loot zone. But we are seeing first Raiders actually making a beeline straight towards that. Any good hot drops to go around here. I haven't seen MDH jumped out yet, and they only have just gotten out. And looks like they're going to be following along with King of Gamers and maybe might land around Carousel and Sunside.
And I'm already seeing a very worrying start for Expand. This is exactly what we don't want to see. We've been praising them for sticking together and playing together as a unit in those early rounds. And it's not a coincidence that those rounds happen to be rounds where Expand performed really well on. And this spread out strat, it's something that Expand has been showing every now and then, but and they don't really have a high success rate on it. I think that's the part that concerns me. Thankfully, a lot of those teams around Expand are pretty far from them, so we won't see any contact early on, but hopefully it stays that way for Expand. Can't say the same for Spade though, that guy just gets hunted down by Nuke. A first blood for MDH.
Yeah, with double Chris as well, doing the deed here for MDH. So Farang now forced to run away from this little fight here as they get across from the lake there, but that might actually run them into the hands of Anxiety as Shomai can be seen just over the port side here. But round Carousel is where Farang is going to be setting up camp though, as they have a buy point to make use of here and to try to find some extra loot. But at the moment, the way the circle runs here, I mean, Expand's kind of ideal usually is to kind of congregate close to or around Forest Red after having spread out. So we'll see whether or not this strategy works out for them, but it's already becoming a bit of a pattern that definitely other teams have noticed as well. In the meantime, MDH tries to fight out in the open field together with Farang and unfortunately lose a couple of their members as a result. Too Bad is still trying to hold his own here, using up his blue wall as a result. Don't Cry as well, trying to get some shots into Too Bad, who is using the elevation to his advantage right now, but NP tries to keep one of the members gatekept from across the lake right now as he now just bursts down all those blue walls down to make sure there's no cover on that pier.
Yeah, both teams are very far from each other, but Too Bad, he's gonna get slowly pincered. Gotta take care of Don't Cry first though. He's the one on mainland, and Don't Cry wins that one out. Farang losing that third member to MDH.
Yep, Jembol is the last person still standing for Farang right now, and he's far off into the side of docks, but that's exactly where Shomai and Hawkeye are currently camped at. Fortunately for him, he will be able to buy back the rest of his team, so Farang is going to be back to try to get themselves up to speed quickly. But then with MDH not resting on their laurels, they're actually trying to spread out here and head towards where Anxiety is, so perhaps they're trying to look for yet another fight on their hands here, and Farang might just be caught up in the middle of it. King of Gamers spotted Jezabu. As meantime though, he's actually landed in a very, very bad spot, and he's caught up in the 1v4. Should be taken out, has been taken out unfortunately, as MDH now finds Jembol, trying to keep him locked up near these containers. I think Jembol is going to be taken out very soon.
And Nero just got down. Pistol in hand, but his team is there, so Jembol, easy prey for MDH. Just suffering from that reset though. That Spin and Too Bad actually just drops that shipyard, and unfortunately that's where Anxiety are. So Shomai gets an easy kill. Farang down to the last man.
Yep, and MDH now congregating right here just as King of Gamers as well show up to the scene. So the thing is, Anxiety also went for the split strategy. 2 members went to the docks and 2 members went to Vantage. And that means that they're not going to be fighting at full strength. NP gets himself knocked down by a motorcycle. Opening round already fired off here by King of Gamers as Knight 77 scans around to see if there are any other members of MDH are knocked down with his 2 wheels. Finding no one, regroups back with his team. Nero is already on the docks now, trying to run away from this fight here, because realizing the MDH doesn't really have a good advantage here, that he's going to try to look for a revice point, and also realizing the defense isn't quite big enough to allow him through there. He's going to have to go the long way around.
Uh-oh, Nero.
Yeah, he's going to get spotted if he's not too careful. Knight 7 is still roaming around. Nero managed to duck into the building just in time. And King of Gamers was just more focused on trying to regroup their members though, so Nero just kind of dodged the bullet there.
So close. And in the meantime, Don't Cry was able to bring DNP back. KOG are still kind of around this area at dock, so for Nero, he would have to kind of take the brunt of it. stranded members of Anxiety and Farang also around this area.
Oh, UAV brought out though.
This is gonna be free pickings for KOG.
Indeed.
Huge utility
If
use.
they realize that they have the man advantage to 3 squads here. I mean, Nero, Shomai, and Spade are still lurking around here. They're going to be spot out. At least 2 of them, Anxiety and the MDH member, are now spotted. So Shomai is going to be taking fire from Osaka right now. While Oscar moves up in order to try to meet him face to face with a baseball bat. And Shomai now stuck within a glue wall. That's going to be the end of him right there. If King of Gamers can just find an angle to shoot at. But Kevin, oh my goodness, he's still able to slip away past the grabs just a little bit. But Shomai finally gets taken down by Osaka, who was waiting for him just outside of that zone. So now that's going to be Shomai down for the count. Haven't quite spotted Nero, nor have they spotted Spade quite yet.
Yeah, but it's more than enough. At least for KOG. Currently in 6th place, but I believe there's only 3 points separating them and MDH. So kind of need a bit more from that, and this is a good start. Anxiety able to make it out with the entire squad.
Oh no!
And Nero, he's been caught just by the beach, and Kevin puts in the rest. The 4th point for KOG, and a lot of these are just basically taking out stragglers. 3 points.
Yep, just 3 points there for King of Gamers, so that's certainly going to help them a lot in their campaign to get continue to stay in that first page. In the meantime, though, the rest of MDH have already regrouped around Railroad and got the revives back in. This next circle lands right on top of the river. And that's giving me shades of yesterday when we had like the literal water circle with the river splitting that circle in half. And Access Esports is already on the scene there, right smack in the middle. So now they're going to be thinking about how they can try to gatekeep the other teams making their way in, particularly Daewoo United and Heavy. They're moving rapidly up the southern side and probably going to be running into Access very, very soon. Another UAV has been brought up just north of the circle right now, probably trying to spot anyone trying to make their way into the circle, which First Ragers is at the moment as they just entered Militia. So are they going to be meeting any resistance though? There's Flash on the western side, there's Sem9 on the eastern side, but Sem9 is also focused on getting towards the circle, probably towards base camp area first. UAV is going to be sent down towards Forts Red, but then Expanse has already moved from that position now to join up with Axis in the center of this next circle.
So far, it's a very populated circle. Foul Spade.
Uh-oh.
Found out by Anxiety, and he was so close on getting that point captured. Got a good leash for Anxiety though. Hawkeye brought back to life.
Yep. I mean, Anxiety managed to get themselves back up to speed as they only lost Hawkeye early on, and now they were having back. And oh my goodness, that's a really nice vehicle for them to have as well. Plenty of view and plenty of wheels to go around for everyone there. Daewoo United, Daewoo is now facing Expand here at the river mouth, and this is going to be where Daewoo can potentially gatekeep Expand, but Expand now fighting together as a squad here, so it's not going to be an easy fight, especially with VGM also hitting the scene here, third partying Daewoo from behind. This is not the situation they need right now, so Daewoo quickly exfils out of that position, gets himself into the diner now as they try to fend off VGM, who just literally showed up with a lot of firepower as well to boot. And then now Expand also being on the other on the bridge actually. This means VGM literally Daewoo United is not going to have anywhere to run. X-Roy is going to try to take some pot shots onto VGM while they try to overrun Daewoo United's position. So this is now turning into a three-way fight.
I think Expand can definitely afford to wait. Just let Daewoo United and VGM kind of duke it out. And when the flame starts to fizzle, Expand can just come in and be the janitors. But Daewoo United are so disciplined. All of these teams, all 3 teams have their own personal compound. It seems like Expand are the ones that is getting a bit angsty, a bit impatient, getting those pot shots in. VGM very clear of where they are. The nade's getting thrown by X-Roy. That one goes wide as well. And he's trying to break down all these glue walls just to expose VGM. Don't give them that barrier of safety. Kind of liking this from Expand. Daewoo United now on the defense. As X-Roy, he is the one kind of in the front line. And we have not heard a single thing from Daewoo. They are just corralling themselves in the building. The ice grenade thrown in. Vantan forced onto kind of the midsection of the building as well. Daewoo, what's the move? Seems like they just decide to let this play out.
I mean, this is also like an example, I think, of the third-party advantage at play here. No one team wants to be the first one to start to take over the other because they know that the third team will be one to clean up after them. So they're just kind of stuck in this little quandary here. So and even with the circle landing on top of them, this is not going to solve their problems here because no team is going to be incentivized to move out of position unless another one moves up and actually fires off those first shots. So I think those three are just going to be stuck at this side of the river mouth here, and you can already see Expand is actually spotting Axis from across the river, trying to take some shots on them, while Flash, in the meantime, moves to take control over the northern side of the circle. Wonder whether or not they were thinking about trying to gatekeep MDH, who are all still kind of far away from this next safe zone. Expand has been spotted out with VGM. Now they're going to be engaged in a gunfight from building to building here. Bond's still taking position by the stairwell to watch out for Dewa United. Dewa actually using this opportunity. Yeah, they run straight across the bridge right now, and they're going to try to fight against someone else. This time it's going to be Axis and potentially Team Heavy.
Yeah, Dewa United making the smart move to slip away into the shadows, but they're not out of danger just yet. Buffalo getting the initial knock onto Ren. Dewa United in a really, really tough spot. Time turner and a couple of glue walls used to bring Ren back up. It's VGM. They did have, I believe, Bensu knocked down just now, but they were able to bring him back out. So this deadlock, this stalemate is going to continue for a while between Expand and VGM. We have to wait for the circle to kind of force them away. Buffalo, another knock this time onto Knight. Okay, Oscar also gets knocked as well. All right, Tom XD shows up. Heavy goes in for the push. And KOG, they're out of this one.
Wow, that was so fast. And I also want to point out something a bit amusing. Literally, First Raiders taking the high ground here by completely huddling up on that lighthouse in the middle of the river mouth. So that's kind of amusing to see that they're just trying to hedge all their bets on that one position there. In the meantime, Heavy now under fire from Dewa from across the side here, but they also have to watch out beside them, which is Axis Esports also huddled together in that little building, while now Sem9 is making their way and trying to prevent MDH from making their way into the safe zone. Now Newbie unfortunately gets knocked down, and oh my goodness, he was the last one standing, and Sem9 gets eliminated in 10th place by MDH.
I think 2-3 of them perished to the blue zone. It was just not a fight that they could win. Not against MDH. And finally, a slightly underwhelming round for Sem9, but again, they have a cushion to fall back to, so not too rough for them. As Exac gets a knock onto a member of Heavy, and now MDH, they're gonna fly right in, landing on top of Team Flash, but they really don't have the numbers to pull this off though. Don't Cry is already down, and it's Lozzy from high ground, from that lighthouse that took him out. MDH no longer in this game. First Raider still around, but now they have revealed the position to Team Flash. The question is, how does Team Flash deal with this? Oh, wow, and they shoot them, I guess. Bloody good one onto Darko. They'll have to use that glue wall to provide a bit of cover and bring him back up. Anxiety also under pressure. First Raiders, though, they have so many angles to watch, and they are actually doing a decent job. Basic as not. Rap steals that away, unfortunately, as First Raiders are just not able to finalize those kills.
And what I worry about for First Raiders is that they know where to escape, because even if they decide to exfil from this position, they're going to be surrounded on all sides. You already got Anxiety and Flash putting pressure onto them, and then behind them as well, they got Heavy currently locked in battle with VGM as well as Expand. So now the First Raiders needs to get a knockdown onto one of these squads here that are approaching them, Anxiety or Team Flash, and then there's really not really a good place for them to just continue that base of fire, because there's not much cover on top of the lighthouse itself. Now Heavy in the meantime face to face now with Expand as they try to pile into this house here. VGM as well getting to the mix, but unfortunately losing too many members. Flash as well getting the shots done to Vantan and Bond, and they're both being taken out here. Dewa United now facing the wrath of Buffalo. Blue Wall came out just in time to prevent the headshot from coming through.
Yeah, can Buffalo do this though? I mean, Minao, he is not in the shape to fight. Dewa United winning this exchange so far. Minao able to escape with the cover of Buffalo. As Heavy, they get to regroup. There is a buy point right there. Maybe Heavy can revive the two fallen teammates. And they do. A bit more of a lifeline for the team. Meanwhile, on the other side, again, I mean, so many So many skirmishes happening. Team Flash trying to make a break for it, but Buffalo, oh, he's watching. This guy has eyes of a hawk. Binsu is out. VGM no longer in the round. Buffalo continuing to apply pressure. Dewa United somehow still running. Now Expand makes it into the circle as well. But as I say, the circle constricts. And look at who is in the circle. It's Heavy in the best possible position to gatekeep multiple teams.
And speaking of gatekeeping, First Raiders now being gatekept by Flash on the ground floor, while First Raiders are still up on the lighthouse. So they're in a very tough spot here. Now they're going to be forced to get down on the ground and fight on the dirt here, and they're already taking a lot of damage. Their Dark Ball being taken out by Yenbin. 66 Rav also taking shots against Dewa as they try to overrun Axis' position. Dewa United right now scrambling to try to get through this maze of blue walls here, trying to find an angle. They managed to take down Ren so far, but Neptune wraps around trying to find another member of Dewa to finish up, but it looks like they've already cleared out the spot here. Yes, they do. They take down Firuz there, and now they have control over this one little building.
Yeah, I love this urban warfare. This is absolute chaos. 5 teams remain. Expand makes it in a slower round for them, but most importantly is that they have the whole team left alive. Heavy on that rooftop, and it feels like Expand might have an idea where Heavy might be. Soza with the grenade launcher actually lands that one onto Pudai. Mina is going to bring him back up though. There is still a lot of room for Heavy to work with. First Raiders makes it onto dry land from that lighthouse, and now there's going to be a 5-team slobber knocker. X-Droid takes one in the face courtesy of Exact as Heavy, they're getting pressure by the grenade launcher. Souza lands one, and with help from Neptune, Anxiety are out of this one. Axis, 4-man strong. Flame is low, not out just yet, and Axis, they're piling up the knockdowns. First Raiders, the Clips no longer in this game. Axis with 8 kills, and they're still hitting it strong. Mina brought back up by Tom XD. Heavy getting absolutely pushed from multiple angles. It seems like the Malaysians won the final showdown as Mina goes down. Tom XD with a double revolver blows Neptune's head off. Axis, they still have enough numbers though. Exact go down, Neptune back up. Heavy is out, and this is Expand's chance to finally bag the Booyah in the second phase. But X1 and Cobra are down. X-Ray has not much help, but it is just enough for shots to come true for the team. Expand finally grabs a Booyah.
Finally, in phase number 2, this Booyah has eluded them for so long and just came in time right now, and especially is especially sweet given the fact that they also were able to fight against Heavy in this final circle here, but still